let's see what the dev has to say. So, all right, so we have a lot of player responses, a lot of dev responses. So, first player that says, and yet they explained away keep battles not existing for player defenders as them not being worth the time as too few players would ever experience it, which sounds like they just gave up. Before the dev says anything, no, it doesn't sound that way. Any rational person who read that statement, I read it on, in a different video. What they stated pretty much was the reason that defender keep battles aren't a thing is because the players would really almost never experience that feature. Unless this was added that we just talked about. If this feature is added where you can, you as a defender can retreat into the keep battle and then actually be on the defending side. If this gets implemented, then yes, this feature will be used a lot. Where is it? The feature will be used a lot where you are the defender in the keep battle. But currently, as it stands, with that feature not being in the game, you won't really ever experience defender gameplay because then you will have to kind of pick a time where you have to retreat when you're defending on the castle walls. And most of the time, you as the player, if you're going to lose that siege, you're going to die on the castle walls. You're not going to really make it back into the town, if that kind of makes sense, right? You could possibly, but it's supposed to, the keep battle currently, as it stands, it's supposed to be kind of like this last stand type of thing, which, you know, in all honesty, you as the attacker will most of the time, if you get to the keep battle stage, you're going to win. You know what I mean? There's not much, the keep battle isn't like, in my opinion, like an extra set of defense. It's kind of like a cosmetic kind of addition where it's just like, oh, now storm the castle. So it's like a cool little feature, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think I explained it, but if you are the attacker and you make it to the keep battle, you're almost like 100% winning that keep battle fight. You know what I mean? Your numbers are probably a lot higher. And obviously they just retreated, so their morale is completely down. So they won't, like, you know, have that much of a fight. That's why he stated that that's why, you know, players won't really have defender keep battles because, you know, most of the time they're going to die at the wall. They're not really going to retreat, which is pretty valid in my opinion. But obviously, I already knew some people were going to take it this way where it's just like, oh, it just seems like the devs don't want to do that. No, they just explained it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But, so what he says is the statement in this topic, don't explain away keep battles not existing for player defenders. The discussion is about future improvements. And the very thing you were referencing is quite clear that my opinion isn't the deciding factor. Then he states what he said. Let's read what he said. He says, having said that, I'm sure people will take into account any feedback given on them as they go forward and may very well come up with solutions that I can't. As in this could be a possible solution. What's it called? And like, I'm probably going to split some into parts. But this possible solution, what I'm referencing is this player pretty much said, you know, as a way to combat kind of like unlimited, retreats that you can do. It's kind of like an abuse that you could do in the system where every time that the enemy gets close, you just retreat back and then you just restart the fight. And you can do this in sieges as well. And pretty much, as stated here, you could have like 100 archers and you could push back a 1.5k army because you could just keep retreating and just keep, you know, coming back to fight. This person suggested, hey, why don't we, make it whenever you hit retreat, you go into the keep battle right away. And then if you win the keep battle as a defender, then you push away the attackers and they have to kind of set up camp again if they want to besiege again. So that's what, that's kind of like the, you know, the solution that he's talking about. And then he goes, it is further elaborated that, and this is him talking from before, these things are not developed in isolation. That is to say, if we pursue one thing, we do so by not pursuing something else. Similarly, if we chose to not pursue that one thing, we do so in favor of something else. All these options can enhance the sandbox experience and must be prioritized according to their assumed costs and benefits. Okay. Ends with a note, a question to those who are interested in defensive keep battles. Okay, so this is where he explains it. Would you feel that the current offensive setup would offer an enjoyable defensive experience to you? This is to say, no control over your troops, no reinforcements for your side, and generally a mission that you are quite likely to lose. Exactly what I said. If you are on the defending side of a keep battle, you're pretty much, it's your last stand. It is what it is. Go on to blaze of glory, but you're probably losing it. You know what I mean? So it won't be as enjoyable, and it probably won't happen a lot. That's what he pretty much said. And then he says, are intended to lose, since another challenge may be players exploring the terrain to simply one-on-one 200 bots and basically mean that no siege has to be lost anymore. Encouraging that very approach. If not, how do you imagine it should work? A shout out to I forgot his name. It has Spartan in his. Hold on. What's it called? He made a YouTube video. He made a couple YouTube videos where he would like do these like insane Spartan Gaming. He did a couple videos where he would do like these insane like 100 versus 1500 how to beat a siege. Like I'm looking at it right now, 300 versus 1500, best troops and best formation, best siege defense tactics. Shout out to him, some good videos, and I'm pretty sure he would make exactly what the dev is talking about here, where you know what I mean, where you can kind of like cheese the defense and make it so you never lose. Which would also be kind of a cool concept, you know what I mean? So it's like what I said exactly. Like, I think that the unlimited retreat kind of abuse should low-key be kept. And if you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. You know what I mean? It's just like a cool little thing for some people, to just find out and just kind of use, kind of enjoy the game with it. If they enjoy the game with it, cool. If they don't like the feature, they don't really have to use the feature anyways. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a win-win situation, in my opinion, when it comes to enjoyability. And also, like, eventually, if they do have the time, if they, find it to, be viable, and they add the defensive keep battles, I'm pretty sure there's going to be content made. There's going to be people who try it out and people who have fun with, just trying out, how can I finesse a system? That's just how it works. A lot of games have like those situations where, even on YouTube, you see a lot of these like videos where it's like, what happens if you do this at this point in this game? You know what I mean? Those are very popular, videos and very popular concepts that people like to visit in games. And, the more of those you have in games, it just makes it more interesting. And, yeah. So, hey, if you have the time, I would add it too, low key. But I understand why they didn't, because it doesn't really make sense. But it would be kind of cool,